previous video ended with a simple claim. Experience is first for us. Being is first in understanding, and God is first in reality. But the word God immediately creates a problem, because most people already carry an image of what that word means. Usually, the image is something like a very powerful person somewhere above the universe. God becomes a cosmic ruler located beyond the clouds, watching the world from a distance and occasionally intervening inside it. That picture is easy to reject. It is also not the classical Christian understanding of God. So I condense the correction like this. God is not a being in the sky. God is the source of being itself. I want to unpack that carefully, because this is not wordplay. It changes the entire question. When we call something a being, we normally mean one existing thing among other existing things. A tree is a being. A person is a being. A planet is a being. Each one exists within reality, occupies a particular place in the order of things, has a nature, depends on conditions, and can be compared with other things. If God were simply the greatest being in that same order, then God would still be one item within a larger reality. He might be stronger than us, older than the universe, and able to do things no creature can do. But he would still belong to the same basic category as everything else. He would be one more object to locate, measure, or fail to detect. This is the category mistake behind many modern arguments about God. People imagine that science has searched through the universe and failed to find a divine object hidden behind the stars. But classical Christianity never claimed that God was a hidden physical object waiting to be discovered by a sufficiently powerful telescope. God is not one more thing inside the reality science investigates. God is the reason there is any reality to investigate at all. Thomas Aquinas used the phrase ipsum esse subsistens. It is usually translated as subsistent being itself, or the sheer act of being itself. That does not mean God is an abstract concept called existence. It does not mean God is an impersonal energy spread throughout the universe. And it does not mean creation is simply a piece of God. It means God does not receive existence from somewhere else. Creatures have being. God is not a creature who has being as one feature among others. Everything we encounter is dependent. A tree depends on soil, light, water, its biological history, and the entire order in which trees can exist. A person depends on parents, air, food, time, a body, and a world that was already here before them. Even stars depend on physical conditions and structures they did not create. Created things do not explain their own existence completely. They are real, but they are received realities. They have a nature, but they did not give themselves that nature. They possess powers, but they did not design the order that makes those powers possible. They exist, but their existence is not self-generated. To say that God is first in reality means that all created being depends upon the uncreated source of being. God is not holding the cosmos like Atlas holding the earth, as though the universe were one object and God were another larger object underneath it. The dependence is deeper than physical support. At every moment, creation is creation because its existence is received rather than self-grounded. This also explains why God's action does not compete with creaturely action. We often imagine causation competitively. If I move the chair, you are not moving it. If one explanation is correct, another explanation must be removed. But God is not a rival cause inside the universe. The Christian claim is not that rain falls either because of atmospheric conditions or because of God. Atmospheric conditions are real created causes. They genuinely explain how rain forms within the world. God is the source of the existence, powers, relations, and order by which atmospheric causes can act at all. Aquinas called this the distinction between primary and secondary causality. God is the primary cause who gives creatures being and the power to act. Creatures are real secondary causes that act according to their own natures. This means that explaining more about the physical world does not push God further away. If science explains the formation of a star, the growth of a cell, or the development of a storm, it has explained real creaturely processes. It has not shown that creation is independent of the source of being. The more accurately we understand secondary causes, the more accurately we understand the reality God gives them to be. This is also why divine presence does not make creation less real. If God were a finite object, then more of God might mean less room for the creature. But if God is the source of creaturely existence, then God's nearness does not erase the creature. It sustains and fulfills it. The biblical image of the burning bush captures this well. The bush burns with divine presence, but it is not consumed. God's presence does not destroy creaturely reality simply by being present to it. The source of being can make the creature more fully alive. This protects Christian thought from two opposite errors. The first is deism, the idea that God made the universe, stepped away, and now watches it from a distance. The second is pantheism, the idea that God and the universe are simply the same thing. Christian creation is neither separation nor collapse. Creation is truly other than God, yet completely dependent upon God. The world reflects God without being God. Creatures participate in being without becoming the source of being. God's presence grounds their reality without absorbing their identity. There is another guardrail here. Calling God the source or ground of being must not turn God into an impersonal metaphysical substance. The Christian God is beyond creaturely personality, but not less than personal. Human personality is limited, changing, embodied, and dependent. God is not a human personality enlarged to infinity. But neither is God a cold principle beneath reality. Philosophy can lead us toward God as the uncreated source of being. It can correct the childish picture of a divine object in the sky. It can show that created existence is dependent and that God cannot belong to the same category as creatures. But philosophy alone does not give us the full doctrine of the Trinity, the Incarnation, or the personal name of God revealed in Scripture. Revelation does not contradict the metaphysical assent. It discloses who the source of being is. The God who is not one being among beings is the living God who creates, speaks, knows, loves, judges, gives, and enters covenant with creation. This also changes prayer. Prayer is not an attempt to send a message across a vast distance to a deity who may or may not be listening from another region of the cosmos. The source of being is already present to every creature more deeply than any creature is present to itself. That does not make God identical with our thoughts or emotions. It means dependence upon God is more intimate than physical distance can describe. We do not have to drag God into reality. Reality is already sustained by God. The question is whether we recognize, receive, and respond to the source from whom our life is continuously given. And in Christian thought, this God creates through the Word. That leads to the next step. If God is the source of being, then creation does not merely exist as an unexplained pile of objects. Created things receive not only existence, but form, nature, relation, power, truth, goodness, and intelligibility. The world has a grain. Reality can be understood because it is not structureless at its root. God is not a being in the sky. God is the uncreated source from whom all created being is received. And the intelligible order of that created being opens the question of the Logos, the divine word through whom reality is structured, sustained, and made knowable.